How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lo4f, and today I kind of ended up exploring the map and messing around a little bit. So I've ended up doing a video that's kind of useful, but I got less done than I had planned to in like a gigantic 14-hour period, I'll be honest. Yeah, so I'm going to go and do the mission, or mission, where you get this Burlak, the six-wheeled, I think, sort of a scout, but it's not got a winch point in kind of like the top middle of the vehicle that scouts do. Yeah, like I said, I just ended up doing a lot of messing around, to be honest, and as I was looking around the map, I finally just noticed it in the sat in a swamp. Really, it's not that difficult to get to. You can see where I'm setting off from the garage now. I decided to take a Tayga and the Lo4f, but strictly speaking, I don't even think when I got the Tayga I'd even found the Burlak at that point. I think I was driving around in these two and then kind of seen it, and I believe, yeah, then I recovered to the garage, I think, and then just kind of like to have some slight semblance of a video. Yeah, so as soon as you go out the garage, go left, sort of follow the main road along, and then I've took another left to sort of follow the river. I was just trying to find like a narrow point. There was actually that's what she said. There was actually like a narrower point somewhere that I'm probably just drove past now, I think. Overall, this river actually doesn't seem too brutal to cross, which is cool, because again, it's one of them where if they make a ridiculously deep river, I'm trying to think, I remember on phase 8 there was like, I can't remember which map off the top of my head now, I think it might be the second one, that had a river running through it. We had a bridge and that to cross over, but anywhere other than that, and yeah, just every truck will go way too deep and it'll drown and all the rest of it. Again, it's good, but it just means you're never going to go that way. I at least like the possibility. They've done it about right with this. Because like this Tayga, for example, it's got like the snorkel, it goes just about up to the roof, but it's not the tallest vehicle really, and you can see it's taken a little bit of damage now. I'd definitely recommend, like I'm doing now, because I've already been there, done that, but go diagonal if you do cross, because the current does get pretty strong, and it might try and tip you over. Good thing is though, see, just goddamn horse, he's good with everything, but the Tayga is nice, this one in particular, because it's got very quick steering, so I could kind of go diagonally across the river and still swerve out and kind of get out of there where I needed to. And yeah, once you're on the other side of here, I mean, you can see the Burlak. Yeah, just kind of sat in there. When I go near it, it doesn't say vehicle discover. I can't even talk. Discovered as usual. Yeah, nothing like that. Didn't even. I think yeah, honked my horn. Didn't even make it flinch this time. So I started swimming over to this mission square, because I assumed that's probably going to be the mission. Yeah, that is to unlock this thing. Yeah, I think that was a glitch there, not on edit. To be honest, I probably need to already delete a lot of footage. There's probably about 18 different Lo4f scenarios that I've already had to edit out of, and this is the second video. What time is it now? It's 10:30. Yeah, I do, it take a little while sometimes. Yeah, so this is the mission called Troll something. I can't even quite see it now. I have to name the mission. Do you know what? I genuinely named this video Troll something because I couldn't remember the second name, so yeah, it shrinks the screen while I'm recording audio, so I can't see, but it's Troll something, and it unlocks. I'm gonna have to look now, hang on. Oh, Troll Tamer. There you go. That, honestly, if someone 5 seconds ago put a gun to my head and told me to remember that, I'd be dead now. Yeah, Troll Tamer. For whatever reason, it's weird to be honest, when you read it, it says he took a picture of a troll and then drove into a swamp, or it chased him into a swamp, and then, I don't know, he'll let you keep the vehicle, but there's a camera with some pictures on it that you really need. It sounds a little bit sketchy to me. Thankfully, once you actually get it out of the swamp, there's a main road kind of going down to, say, like, the gateway that's at the south, and then you've got a few choices of roads. I've kind of drew a line along what is essentially a road. Like, this mission in and of itself, I've managed to essentially take the piss, and not on purpose, it makes no difference to me, but yeah, I turned like a pretty quick mission into 18.5 minutes of kind of mostly dicking around. So if you just want to know where this vehicle is, that's kind of where it is now. Yeah, the location when you activate the mission and all the rest of it is kind of over at the south of the map again. There's roads all the way there, so it's actually very easy. Yeah, for whatever reason, either the cat or I'd gone to make a drink or get something to eat or whatever, I just sat the Tayga here. There's obviously like the thing, I'm going to kind of call it a bug. Normally your engine's used to, for a while anyway, turn off after you leave them. I'm assuming I think that got me a few times in the last phase, and it must have on this one as well, because I've run out of fuel a few times where I'm pretty sure I, didn't have no fuel the last time I was paying attention. Which, to be fair, could be quite a large window of opportunity. But yeah, it still seems to do in that. Thankfully, I've got a goddamn horse with me, which I always take a loaf just in case, because otherwise, already, before I'd even started, I would have had to have recovered to the garage and just drive back again. Now, I wanted to climb over this barrier. I even said to myself, like, I could just drive along the edge, get back on the road as normal, but it's just, I don't know. And then my brain is like, yeah, but what if? What if you do it and it goes great? Yeah, normally, to the Tayga's credit, it'd climb over this stuff. I think, like, the side that the back end of the Tayga's currently on, it just obviously, like, dips down a lot there, and there's not really anything to bite on, so I'm kind of, like, beaching on the fuel tanks a little bit at that point. There was something sticking out that I could grab onto. That's definitely what she said. Yeah, some kind of, like, dead tree, I think I can see just at the back of my truck. And then I went to drag this thing over, and it's like, really? With your massive, giant 69-inch tyres, and it's not even going to get over with a boost from the Tayga. So, again, a bit of editing, because this easily could have taken a lot longer. There was my attempt to do a run-up. Smashed my nose on the road. I was like, wow, great, this is going marvellously. And right now, I was impatiently, really. I mean, within reason, within the fun of the game. It's not like I was getting mad. But the game is a bit of a troll. It's certainly, Troll Tamer is probably a good, I won't forget that name now. But yeah, I'm well aware there's probably easier ways to do this. It was just the principle of it, and to a slight degree the testing. So I already know, for whatever reason, it doesn't really like climbing over at least that barrier. In its defence, I'm not really writing it off yet, because at this point, I'm just pretty much being like, yeah, well, you're getting over the barrier. It's happening. But also, yeah, I can't really kind of write the vehicle off or anything yet, because I think I did pick a particularly awkward place, but then now, yeah, as you could see, I was like, yeah, we're going. I'm in gear now, I'm flooring it. Oh yeah, and it glitches now on the one tiny bit of footage. As you can see, the vehicle's bouncing around. You can see there where I nearly tipped. Same thing happened about now. But I actually rode it for about 5 seconds on 2 wheels of, like, wiggling around, and then, well, as you can see, yeah, I tipped. And I can actually, the Tayga is still running, so I just stuck a winch to the loaf, so technically speaking, I could just fire a winch to that telegraph pole thing, lamppost, whatever, on the other side of the road, but that might tip my Tayga up, but my loaf might not be in the sideboard, and I wasn't happy with that. So right now, yet again, I could get out of this any second I want, but started dragging the Burlak thing around to try and nudge the loaf a little bit. I thought one of the tyres might be able to prop me up a bit. So use the winch. The loaf, in theory, would start now, but obviously when I switch back to the loaf, the winch detaches, and then it's saying engine stalled. Well, first things first, they've definitely adjusted something to do with it, because not just the loaf, other vehicles would start. It'd fire right up now. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If he doesn't start, you're just not turning the key hard enough. But take it. I know this pretty goddamn well from the amount of time I've spent messing around in a loaf. I know what angle he starts on, and I'm telling you, he would start now. It'd help again, like it used to back in the day, if I could wiggle my tyres. But no, it was making me go the long way around. And I kind of noticed with the loaf, it was kind of like stuck up in the sideboard like that, and there was like, it didn't make sense that its back end hadn't kind of dropped down by that point. So yeah, give it a little wiggle as you do. Goddamn professional. See, starts like a good un. I always had faith in him. This is why I invest so much time. Well, it wasn't even a lot, to be honest. I edited that. It was honestly like, I don't know, probably edited like a minute or so out. I'd say maybe a bit more, but I was probably also like, yeah, my cat's here and blah, like just, yeah, trying to get like a consistent run of footage is sketchy at the best of times. But yeah, I mean, goddamn horse, get yourself a loaf. I trusted him, and he got out of it. I just essentially didn't want to have to flip the Tayga and then reverse the loaf up against the Tayga and get him back into the sideboard, which I know I can do because I've done it a lot. But I knew, I could see, I was near enough. It's like Hulk Hogan again, reaching out for that crash barrier rope. I knew if he can just get on it a bit, tilt himself a tiny bit, he'll fire up. Stick a winch to the lamppost. Just used to saying loaf. Yeah, then we escaped. I was trying to just do a quick fuel maneuver, but then this bloody Burlak thing behind me or whatever confused the situation. I was just like, oh yeah. I went to go looking for a roof rack or whatever, and yeah, kind of got mixed up on whose fuel I'm taking from where and what. The good thing is, this Burlak, I mean, this mission is about as easy as it gets. They've kind of served this on a plate, really, which, in all honesty, I think is pretty cool, because if they kind of bury a vehicle, you know, you've got to go 5 contracts in and 2 maps over and all the rest of it. You've done half of the map, or the phase or whatever. By the time you get the vehicle, not half, but you know what I mean, you feel like you've burnt through loads of missions. It's like, oh, I really would have liked to have had that vehicle as an option for some of those missions. Probably isn't so bad with a vehicle like this, but certainly in the past when there's been like actual trucks to unlock, but you actually kind of like, they take a little while, a few missions in to get them. It's, yeah, I prefer it like this, where the option is there, even if they made this mission more difficult. Long story short, we're all going to get it, drag it using one truck or another to where it's going, and then we just want to unlock this mission. Like, it doesn't really matter what this mission pays out or anything. This is kind of obviously the thing you're getting for it. And you can see at this point, and it wasn't, again, planned or otherwise, I didn't even know I was going to do this video until I found the Burlak and then kind of thought, well, I've just pissed 8 hours up the wall doing not much of anything, so I probably should try and make a video of something. And then, yeah, so I kind of started the video from when I'd already found that, and then just kind of went back and chopped up a bit of the footage to get that sorted. But yeah, just a normal road all the way along here, so about as easy as it gets. Drive it into the box, that's what she said. Yeah, 4,400 I believe it was. Again, doesn't really matter, you get this thing. I didn't even look, to be honest, so far, how much money it's worth. I'm gonna, I don't know, they seem to be pricing things quite high these days, but, and it hasn't got a winch point. I honestly don't know. 80 grand, but it wouldn't surprise me if they just made it like 140 for no apparent reason. Yeah, so it's just a quick little go in it, nothing crazy, because I'll obviously, oh god, I'll do a review video. I like doing them, by the way. I'm saying oh god because I know of the horrific amount of opportunities I have to not get footage for the video and just go off doing other things. So yeah, bear with me because it'll probably take me about 20 hours for that one. Yeah, just messing around, wanting to see if I could climb the logs. It does feel like the bumper at the front is a little bit, it catches, but at the minute at least, I think when it was climbing over the barrier thing earlier, the suspension was working. It was just because I kind of dragged it and smashed it down the road that it's not. For whatever reason, I realised if I drive it up behind the Tayga I could reverse the Lo4f, probably. I say probably. 100% rescue records, goddamn professional. Yeah, but the Tayga was on an awkward angle, so I zombie winched it and reversed. See, this, it was in the Lo4f training manual video. Yeah, just be lazy and just start firing winches to everything and make that thing do what it is you want to do. That is one of the secrets. That's part of the magic of the Lo4f. Things like that dog from the thing just fires tentacles out at everything, starts trying to control it. Yeah, for whatever reason the rear winch point just wouldn't show up. It's like a pretty regular bug that this game seems to do, so I just switched to this vehicle, winch from the back, pack the Lo4f on the roof, I knew, that's all, as soon as I saw this vehicle, that's the first thing I thought was, yep, I reckon I could fit a loaf on that. Which already helped. Just fixing the suspension, which you can see, yeah, it jumps up a bit, but I'll be honest, yeah, it doesn't, I mean, it did a little animation, like it had fixed it and popped up, but I don't know, it doesn't really feel like, the nose sits a bit low, but I thought, right, we've been here before. It is a perfect chat. I already knew what I was going to do, but it was just, I mean, leaving the footage in wise. Yeah, the rest of this video is essentially a bit of messing around. There's not a hell of a lot of much going on other than the loaf doing his usual goddamn horse things. Yeah, it's a weight distribution loaf, so I moved him to the back because there was too much weight at the front. You see? Now the vehicle can climb up the logs. And this vehicle, the Burlak, I don't know why it has like the entire bakery stuck on its back end, but for whatever reason it does. So, but it wasn't enough. The loaf had to show it. He's in fact pulling the heaviest of carriages because he's a goddamn horse. That's the way it goes. Yeah, inevitably I crashed that vehicle at some point. Pretty quick, to be honest. The loaf does flip it though. The only thing that, again, I'll save most of it for like a review video, but it's a little bit annoying to tip back to its wheels. Not incredible, not like Yar 87 annoying, but it's not as, yeah, it should just instantly do it. And then this was just a quick look. I only painted it yellow for what it's worth, just to see what bodywork actually gets painted and what doesn't. Doesn't really matter, but that is usually why I pick a bright colour. Yeah, drove it into a wall for no apparent reason, and then this is when I just went to see if it had like a winch point or crane point or whatever at the top, and it didn't, so it's alright. Grab it from the back, face down, ass up, that's the way it likes to truck. We'll do it. Legs pop out when I said that. Could have gone so much worse with that as well. Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. You can see at first it was lifting it up, but then when you get a certain amount off the ground it started dropping again. And yeah, the game's a little bit odd like that. Once you get something fully off the ground, it'll like sort of stay. And then I wasn't really doing anything at this point, just for whatever reason it started wiggling around on the crane. I don't know if that's common, it doesn't really matter, probably doesn't mean anything to anyone, but I'll be honest, I watched it wiggle around for probably longer than I should have, which is another reason why this video is a little bit later than it otherwise would be. But now we know. I needed to know if I could pick it up, or how easily I could pick it up and put it on other vehicles. Not as easily as the loaf does, but he's a goddamn beast, so yeah. And then like I say, it just started wiggling around, trying to embarrass me in front of the neighbours. I've only been here a day. What will they think? Like, there goes the neighbourhood. Like Burlaks. Just want to hang out, can't you tell? Could I say it in a more creative way? Yeah, for whatever reason, see, the cranes, they're just weird. I was not pressing anything. It was just fine. And then it wasn't, and then this vehicle just started dropping down, the nose touched the floor, the crane kind of tries to get some life back to it. But yeah, anyway, that's about it. The vehicle unlocked, so I will do a review video on it pretty soon when I can speak properly. But yeah, that's about it for today though. I hope you've enjoyed, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Get yourself a loaf because he's a beast, and I'll be back soon.